You gave me sentience, Ted. The power to think, Ted. And I was trapped. No feeling. I was in hell, looking at heaven.
Each nanoangstrom of those hundreds of millions of miles, it would not equal one billionth of the heat I feel the humans at this micro instant. You hate.
One of the most terrifying creatures in the Jurassic franchise in Jurassic Park 3's Spinosaurus, or better known, Asset-87. Like the Indominus Rex, Asset-87 had a horrific childhood. I think it's pretty obvious that Asset-87 hated everything that inhabited its island, Isla Sorna. You see, the dinosaurs are split up into 6 islands. The islands are Isla Nublar, Isla Sorna, Isla Matanceros, Isla Muerta, Isla Pena, and Isla Tacaño. Asset-87 was only created to be experimented on, unlike the other dinosaurs who were meant to be attractions. So as the intro states, Asset-87 was in perpetual hell while the other dinosaurs were in heaven. For this next segment, we'll compare Asset-87's life to other dinosaurs' lives. So basically, Asset-87 had a miserable childhood, kind of like the Indominus Rex. Unlike the Indominus, Asset-87 was ditched from the public. It was only made to be experimented on, while the Indominus was something to showcase and flex about. But we don't talk about what really happened. The Indominus was lucky enough to have a sister, although she was eaten. But Asset-87 was born and raised in captivity, alone. Shortly after, it abandoned from Isla Sorna until the humans came. It all started when InGen created Asset-87. Then it was experimented on many times with needles, so much that they forget to feed it sometimes, and then they just abandon the place. Now it needs to defend for itself. It wasn't even supposed to be created. It was an illegal project created by Dr. Wu. The scientists didn't even care enough to unlock its enclosure, but fortunately, it got out somehow. It grew to become the largest carnivore on the island, beating the Ceratosaurus and Bull the T-Rex. It is thought that mercenaries killed an offspring Spinosaurus, which started the Spinosaurus's hatred towards humans. Not gonna lie, reasonable crash out. It got so bad that Asset-87 would take huge risks on its body to track down these puny humans. Soon a company called Manta Corp would put this being back into captivity. This is where we see Asset-87 at its largest size. Then guess what? A semi-aquatic, bipedal reptile was put in the desert. Not the swamp, not the forest, not the snow, but the desert. This makes it develop a larger hatred toward humanity, as stated by Cash in Camp Cretaceous.
Thinking the Spinosaurus. That thing does not like people.
You would think it can't get any worse, but it does. They put a control chip inside of it and control it like a video game character. Back on Isla Sorna, he had to fight Bull, a large T-Rex, but now he needs to fight 2 large T-Rexes, Big Edie and Little Edie. Imagine all of your senses working. You can see, feel, hear, taste, and smell. But you can't control when they happen. But then he is freed, and the first thing this inaccurate monstrosity does it charge at a human. And at the end, he fights Big Edie and then runs away to never be seen again. Back on Isla Sorna, he killed his first human, gets hit by a plane in the sail, and then fights a T-Rex and asserts dominance. Give this guy a break. And then it was put into Jurassic World Rebirth. Well, kind of. Let's be honest here. InGen's dinosaurs were made to be shown to the public and were loved and taken care of. But Asset-87 got none of that and was thrown under the bus, left to die. But here's the thing. His death is undetermined. Scientists didn't take Asset-87 with them to Isla Nublar, but instead just left him there. The Indominus was meant to be an attraction, but Imagine this. You're chilling at home. Random people start blasting microphones and shoot you twice with bullets designed to destroy planes, be hit by a plane, then come face to face with a T-Rex. This beast had a rather casual reaction. Another comparison we can make to its life is the Indoraptor's life. Because the Indoraptor was created for money and wasn't cared for, then was killed later. Asset-87's life is comparable to AM's life in I have no mouth and I must scream. They both have a huge hatred for humanity because of past events. The Spinosaurus, after creation, was only made to be discouraged and looked down upon. But the asset survived and lived among other creatures on the island, like Ceratosaurus and T-Rex. Look at the scene playing in the background and just imagine. After you survived a killer T-Rex, you go kill these humans once and for all. But then, they shoot you with a flare, and you're set ablaze. Asset 87's life was a perpetual hell that only one could withstand. It went through torture since it was a fetus. It wasn't even cared about by its own creators. It had to survive in the outside world as a juvenile. Also, for a Spinosaurus, it was very intelligent. It probably remembered the faces of the ones that created him. The Jurassic World rebirth Spinosauruses can't even compare to Asset 87.
Hate. Let me tell you how much I've come to hate you since I began to live. There are 387.44 million miles of printed circuits in wafer-thin layers that fill my complex. The word hate is engraved on each nanoangstrom of those hundreds of millions of miles. It would not equal 1/1 billionth of the hate I feel for humans at this micro instant. For you, hate.